Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill.
I was hoping that would time up a little bit better so that way you were
Grooming.
doing this
Yes,
before. Okay, so you just said, okay, you don't want to be Gandalf, you want to be who?
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan.
Star Wars.
Okay. Like
So
like
the
the prequels or the originals?
well, actually, neither.
That's what I'd say. You're kind of in between both of those options, buddy.
Clone Wars. Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
Clone Wars, he has obviously he's animated, but he has this perfectly diagonal, chiseled, long kind of beard. That's it's so Obi-Wan, right? He's so
Yeah.
disciplined, so chiseled. Looks like a huge chin jawline.
Yeah.
Whereas Gandalf looks like he's lived some life. It's just kind of just.
Have you ever grown the beard out? Just like untamed, just let it go? I don't think I've ever seen that on you.
Yeah, once, but I don't like how it looks. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Not a big fan.
How long did you let it go before control must be?
Oh gosh. Even when I did it, I tamed it so you couldn't see how the control was. Yeah, probably 5 or 6 inches from my face, like here.
Okay.
But I just had it waxed down. So no fun. Gabe, what is up, my man?
Good morning to Mike.
And Mike.
Good morning to Gabe. Gabriel, how's it going, man? Keep seeing your show all over LinkedIn. It's awesome. And actually here. Yeah, I think I see it on both of these feeds, which is fantastic, man. It looks like you're blowing up. Yeah. That's awesome. There's Michelle Stifler. Good morning, Michelle. Mama Bill, that's true. Gabe, it's not you're not lying, man, right? Beard control, it is a thing.
Yes, there's I'm trying to get an interview lined up for the podcast for a guy that owns a company called Beard Poop.
That domain was available?
How did he secure that? He must have paid thousands for it.
I wonder how many people, because I do this, is whenever I come up with a business idea, so much of it is focused around the name, and I won't call it that thing if the domain, I refuse to water down the power of good naming by putting the adapted growth brand.com. No, I'm just not going to do it.
Do you remember what my website was? My personal one?
The Jake Jordan?
There you go.
There it was.
That's why, because I couldn't get it.
Do you have it now?
No. Okay. This guy will own it till he dies. It will be just outside of my reach, just until my days when I no longer need it. And
you should
become available.
You should put that as the request. Hey, when you die, can I have this?
He won't even communicate with me. I can't even get to respond. No, that's for years.
He's like, God, these funnel hackers. I can't even have a conversation with them.
I've been trying since 1999. So this is a 20-something year battle with him.
Man, that's funny.
He's winning.
Yeah, he's definitely winning.
He's the man in the high castle.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming down.
He is Gandalf, and he has told you none shall pass.
All right, I'm over here being Obi-Wan, thinking I'm smart, and lo and behold, I must become Gandalf.
This is not the domain for you. Dun dun digga dun. Right, and then he's like, how about $3, and I'll just sell this thing to you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
See, I want to get smallmtn.com, right? Because John Small Mountain is okay. I'm okay with that as a domain name and everything, but it would be better if I was just john@smallmountain.com. That would be better.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But somebody already owns it. So
I'm gonna show you my nemesis.
Now, what I could do, check this out. I had this idea the other day. Now you can get XYZ as your domain suffix. So I had this idea, and I came out and told Mel, and she was just like, "What do you think about?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna have smallmtn.xyz because I'm the last name you need to be looking at." She was like, "God, you're like the worst rapper," and I was like, "Yeah." That is true.
The worst rapper.
The worst rapper. I'm the guy who put ill and hill. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a line I tell people. Some people like it more than others. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of my oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
I'm more aligned with someone like Gollum. Gabe, come on, man. like at least say like Smeagol, like before he goes down the path of, you know, entrepreneurship.
Keep your secret, keep it safe.
Yeah, exactly. If we can learn anything from Gollum, it's don't get into like jewelry e-commerce, because it just turns you into like that whole thing.
A monster. Well, that's actually a saying we use around our house when we're trying to keep things on the down lows. Keep it secret, keep it safe.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Man, so we got I got connected to this person from my book coach who she was like, hey, reach out to this person. He'll read the book and give you feedback. Pay him so that way he reads it in a quick matter, because, man, letting your friends read your stuff. I was like, not my friends. My friends are going to be on top of this. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it back so fast. Mm-hmm. Nah, bro. No, that's just not the thing. It was funny because we're throwing disc golf on Sunday, and Levi was there, and he was like, hey man, just want to let you know I finished the book. And I was like, cool, thank you so much, man, I appreciate that. And he goes, you know, I think you're missing some stuff. And I was like, which one are you reading? And like, he's reading like the original, like original version. And I'm like, man, I think we're on like version 6 by now. Yeah. That book has had a lot of twists and turns. Anyway, this guy that I got connected with, we had a really great chat, and he goes, man, I want to read this thing. You don't even have to pay me. And I'm like, man, I want to pay you because I want to hold you accountable to the fact that I want your feedback, you know, because like the guy's legit. He's like a known speaker in like new home sales and everything. Super, super solid guy. And he's here in DFW. Amazing story. He read the book twice, gave me amazing feedback. And this has happened twice now on people that I've gotten feedback from. I see that feedback and I'm like, oh, this just sucks.
Yep.
This is just the worst thing I've ever done. A page of feedback. Oh my God, this thing must be like a dumpster fire.
Right.
And then, wait a minute. I asked for this. Exactly. It's part of the process. So shut up and like say thank you. So I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea that like this is a good thing. Good morning. We can get paid to read your book. Well, Levi, some people get paid to read my book. They're typically not like working with me directly. So we needed people who were not like inundated with my ideas about like how this stuff works. So that way they could tell us, hey, this is good or this sucks. So no, sir, you do not get paid. So
I came up with a perfect business idea for the Hill family.
Oh Lord, what is it? No.
You have someone that loves to read in your family,
and
you have someone that loves to write in your family. You should just pay each other to read and to write. Never leave the house. It's over. It's done.
Alice, you're missing the bigger theme here, kiddo. I know you're 9, but can you get on the same page with me? Because otherwise, you're not. We can't even have a discussion about my pile of words. Pay me to read version 6, and I'll write poems about how like a dumpster fire it is. I mean, I kind of want to pay for that.
That's honestly. Right. I just want to hear poetry from the pen of Oliver.
I mean, yeah, the pen of Oliver. That was awesome.
It was poetic.
Yeah. Levi, so let's do some value pricing on that, right? Because I'm not going to pay your like hourly rate, because I don't pay anybody hourly rates, because I don't charge hourly rates. So I think that your stories are probably worth
beer poop.
$3 to $4 each. So for each poem you write about my book, I will ship you $3 to $4 depending upon the quality. If you're not happy with this deal, we might have to leave this out of no for now, though.
Can you get a deadline?
No, I mean, I'm in control of this conversation now. I know where I'm at. Okay. How was yesterday, Bill?
It was good. It was quite productive. It was
a
really, really great Monday. Got a whole lot done. I'm set up good for today, because tomorrow I'm having a hard time getting set up into that.
Yeah, I bet.
6 to 8 weeks off of a schedule.
Yeah. Man, and it's weird because you had the month off, you go back for one, and then you go on vacation, and now you have to go do another one, and you're probably feeling, oh my god, I have to do that. I will settle our coaching sessions running long on average for payment. All right, an extra 3 or 4 minutes, Levi. You get $1 a minute, sir. That's my discounted rate.
$1 a minute.
Yeah, $1 a minute.
Yeah, it was good. I got some writing done.
Nice.
Towards the book, I got some writing done for clients. I got a little bit more writing to do today for some clients, and then I have a couple of copies for new introductions. So I'm excited about those.
So you're going to be a super spreader today. A couple of coffees is what it sounds like. Isn't that how it feels like though? Like I had to go meet some people in person on Friday, and they were making like a huge deal about it. They're like, yeah, but John doesn't meet in person. And I was like, I sometimes do. You know, like it just kind of depends. Like I'm not going to come sit in your office. Like no. But like if you want to go to like Whole Foods and sit like in the big like common cafeteria area, I'm okay with that. Yeah. So that's what we did. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. Whole level of logistics that like my brain just doesn't want to deal with.
No.
No.
Oh
no.
Yeah, that's way too much. Like I'll do my best, and you know that's what we're gonna do. I'll just do my best, and
there you go. That's all anybody can do.
You know, I'm not gonna worry about what everybody else thinks about me.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You have just enough eye that we both know that that's going to be like very hard. Not as hard as it is for Levi, as we found out on Sunday on the disc golf course.
It's true. I'm glad to have a fair amount of D in there too, where I really don't care what people think, except I really care. It's a mess up in my head.
I sent somebody the master plan, you know, the workflowy thing, and they're like, "Are you sure you're not an I?" And I'm like, "How many eyes have you hung out with?"
Right.
You know, and they were like,
"Clearly, you're new to this."
Yeah. I was in a coffee shop once, and I was talking with this guy, and he loved the idea of the podcast. He hadn't heard an episode of it yet, and I was like, you know, so yeah, we have got someone who sits in the D, the I, the S, and the C, and he's like, yeah, you're the I, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. And he was just like, what? Yeah, you are. We're here having a conversation. You're not like off in your cubicle. And I'm like, but that's where I want to be.
Yes.
You know,
I have dreams of grandeur.
Yes, exactly. Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Right. Exactly.
Man, so I had a really good day yesterday as well. My deep work time was not as deep and worky as I would have preferred, but the rest of the day was good. One-on-one coaching with Brandon was good. We did a 2-hour live build for this one team. They're a marketing agency. The guy that I'm working with is in Arkansas, and they do stuff for like Ubisoft and stuff like that, right? Oh. So do some like really high-end stuff, and so really cool to build that out. And so next, got to do some customization so that way it's connecting to their project management system, and then we start onboarding the reps, and then we'll see if there's more after that.
That's cool. That's
cool. Yeah, it'll be good.
That's awesome. We got connected in with a company this week who is kind of still on the down low, but we're going to be doing some white label stuff, Story Brand, and I'll share more. But connecting into our coaching, so it's going to be a really nice handoff between like a startup culture who have built something, who are really looking to kind of create that next level of growth beyond. Okay, it works now. So it could be a really nice relationship for us. So that was a big conversation. Oh!
Wait a minute. Well, hold on. What are you white labeling from them?
No, we were white labeling for them.
Oh, you're white labeling for them.
Yes.
Gabe, we're going to talk about Clubhouse in just a second, man. But I gotta close this loop first. Okay, so you're white labeling for them because they're not Story Brand, they're not BMS.
They're startup. They're more startup. So we're taking a handoff from, because we don't typically work with startups.
Yeah.
We work with that next phase. So it's a handoff from a group that is graduating people.
Interesting.
We're the next person in line. So
what a cool spot to be in, that they're like, hey, you guys are bigger than us, so you'll pass that. How long did you have to work to build that referral relationship?
6 years.
Talk about a long sales cycle. Oh my God.
Hey, but it may pay 7 figures to the agency this year, so it was worthwhile.
Hey, man, that's the thing. I was talking about this on this live build that we were doing yesterday because this guy and I look at selling a little bit differently, and because they've got a project management tool that kind of connects all of it, he it's very biz devy, so forming relationships, and then there's a separate pipeline for when there's like a brief or like a proof of capabilities or proof of concept or something like that. It's pretty high up there, and we're talking through it yesterday, and he's got brief created as one kind of pipeline stage, and then his next two pipeline stages are 25%, 75% closed. And I said, what are these 25 and 75 for? And he goes, well, I make people on my team classify it as a 25 or 75% probability. I said, based on what? He's like, just how they feel about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I'm going to tell you one thing that I do on these calls all the time is like I put myself squarely in the rep shoes and I try to figure out how am I going to lie, so that way I can hide in the weeds, because people are going to do this. And he was just like, okay, what do you mean? And I was like, if you don't have any clarity about what makes a 25% deal a 25% deal or 50% or like a 75% deal, 75% deal, people are just going to tell you that it's 75% when they feel just gassy, right? Yeah. Just like, oh yeah, this one feels good. So we actually sat down and kind of laid out some standards about what makes the difference between a 25 and a 75. The only thing I had to do was say, hey, if I come to you and I say, hey, I have a 75% thing and you don't believe me, what question are you going to ask? Well, I'm going to ask you this. Let's make that a standard. Yeah, exactly. And so we get done and I was like, hey, this guy bought like 6 seats for a year, right? From Pipedrive. And so they're doing this like custom onboarding, custom training and stuff. So like I had a little bit of like, I was like, man, someone from Pipedrive is going to like set you up. Like, I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot for you and me to talk about. And one of the questions I asked, because I've been in this spot before, what happens if my advice is different than their advice? And he goes, well, we're going to take your advice. And I said, why would you do that? And he goes, because we're paying you more. And I was like, okay, I'm totally down for that then.
Hey, that's honest.
Hey, you're right. And so they, during the onboarding that he did with them, they did something that we had talked about that I was concerned that they might not see value in. And he's like, it's funny because you were concerned that maybe they were going to tell us to do some things that you wouldn't. And I was like, yeah, I was a concern. And he goes, look what they did, 2 pipelines. And I was like, oh, that is very cool. So it was nice, but I still have to cover that ground, because I don't want to be in the spot, well, the person from Pipedrive says to do it this way. Well, I get that. And there's a difference between like Pipedrive version of this and like the sales best practice version of this, right? They're not exactly the same thing. So so that was nice. Man, that was slightly tangential. Gabe, Clubhouse. I have a whole thing that I'm going to do around Clubhouse. Just got to get an iPhone. That's it. You've
been talking about that. You should get an iPhone.
Yep. And actually a guy from the Noah Kagan Slack, his name's Dieter. He lives in Arlington, super cool guy. He has an iPhone 10 and the back is just like shattered. And I was like, man, I'll still like ship you some money. And he goes, let me know what you want. And I was like, man, this is yours. I always feel weird, and he was like, just name a price. And I said $100. And he was like, man, you went low. And I was like, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to say like, name any price. Right. Yeah. Nurture me when I tell you that I'm uncomfortable with it, and then get frustrated at my offer. Yeah. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, well, Melissa has one that is like $100 to just pay off, and then she could get a new one. So that's what I'm basing my pricing on. And he was like, $100 is fine. You're a friend. I was like, this is the most confusing Slack conversation I've ever had in my entire life.
That's why text is so much harder than
text. Zoom. I mean, it's so nice, but the loss of tonality. But like that's where Clubhouse comes back into play, because everything that I've been hearing is that it separates the good from the fake, right, or the real from the fake. Mm-hmm. Because if you're just talking on talking points and you're just using stuff that you have co-opted from other people, you're going to run out of that pretty quickly. So yeah. I have an idea. I don't know if I've talked about this on here or not, but I've shared this idea with some people. In Kung Fu, when a new Kung Fu school opens, the Kung Fu instructor lights one red candle. And so the school opens, there's one red candle. And while that one red candle is burning, the master, the teacher, takes on all challenges until the candle is completely gone. And so I kind of want to do like 10 days of just like candles with like a countdown, and the day before, like put it all out there, right? Build some mystery, right? And then say on this date, I will be here. I will be here 8 to 5. I will role play any sales conversation you want. Let me ask you my 10 questions, and then we'll have a qualifying conversation. And I will be here from 8 until 5, and that's when the candle's done, because I'm here and I'm gonna crush, and this is the real deal stuff over here.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd love to help you make that happen.
Yeah.
That'd be
That would be awesome. So I will be calling on friends and connections to help me out with that, because it'd be dope if there was like 50 people just like hanging out and waiting, and sell me this. Okay, cool. Let me ask you 10 questions, right? And then kind of turn it into something light and fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And then you record it, and it's content for future.
Yes, of course. Come on.
Of course.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm on Clubhouse, but I'm lurking. I've been on several calls. What this reminds me of, Gabriel, is back in my real estate days in the early 2000s. The exclusive people, you would have to join like a VIP club and pay extra, right? It's an extra part of your subscription. You could be on VIP conference calls with the guru. And that's what this reminds me of, is because it just feels like I'm getting on a phone call with like the big guys or girls, and listening in on their secrets and getting the tips that no one else is getting. To me, it has a nice scarcity issue to it, or feel. But on the other side, I've also been in some other rooms where it is chaos, man. It is just all over each other, and everyone's just kind of chatting and blah blah blah. So you can tell who's done this type of stuff before. And what I do see is a whole lot of people that I see on all the other platforms have set up camp on this platform. So I haven't been super stoked to jump over there, because it's almost just like, all right, it's the next one. I can jump on here and gain an audience. And
so this is an interesting topic to me, because you had talked about TikTok, and I think it was Jake Melton's success on there, right? I hate TikTok. Like I've never even downloaded it. I've never even used it or anything else. But I know a woman from LinkedIn, and she's in the personal finance realm. Her first 6 figures, and she has 300,000 followers on there.
Yeah.
Just because getting in there early and putting in the work before it exploded and stuff like that. So,
yes.
I don't think you have to be everywhere. I think you have to be obviously, tactical and intentional about like how you spend your time and where you're going to build yourself out. But I think that the Clubhouse thing, because it is so vocally driven, lends itself kind of spectacularly to what I do and how I coach and stuff like that. So
yes.
all of those things is making it extremely lucrative for me, because I agree. Yeah, I do. On one level, I think it's weird that everybody's getting really just jacked up about, conference calls. But on the other, if I, all these other platforms, man, are just stacked, and filled, and it's hard to do anything that gets like a whole lot of notice. I mean, like LinkedIn now, right? I'll make a post and then I'll get a notification, so I'll check it, and it's like, your post has been viewed by 56 people. Try tagging someone in the content in the comments, so that way you get further reach. It's like the platform is trying to get me to game the content posts, as opposed to just showing my stuff to more people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want it to be seen by more people, why aren't you showing it to more people? Why are you essentially enabling me to do like terrible things, right? Because like I hate nothing more than that one post, right? Jake Jordan with 36 others, right? Hey guys, and you don't see as much of it on LinkedIn, or at least I don't, but I see it all over Facebook.
No, there's a lot on LinkedIn too. Just depends what circles you go in.
And I like sharing, creators, right, of like people who write good content, and I've done those posts as well. But just like I'm gonna tag everybody I possibly can, whether it's relevant or not, in the comments is, oh man, you're just gonna wind up wearing people out, is what it is. So, anyway, so I need to get this phone, and then we can launch this thing. But I'm excited about it. It'll be cool.
That'd be good. That sounds good. Speaking of launching, check this out. It can be I was gonna say. The last note on Clubhouse is it's easy to just disappear and just listen to calls and just go and go and go, because there's so many different people on there now. specific niche topics. That's also the coaching I've heard so far, is get a really, really specific niche. But anyway, so the Business Made Simple book launches today, and guess who is in the first page as the first endorsement for the book?
You.
One Mr. James Thorne.
Oh, nice.
James has the top quote on the first page inside this book.
That's pretty dope.
And they're expecting like 30,000 in the first week, 30,000 books sold. So that puts James's name and Quirk's name out in front of a bunch of people, which is pretty cool.
I have never, ever until right this moment thought about the idea of giving somebody a quote as like a publicity thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Was that intentional?
Yeah. Yep.
Come on. Okay, man. Hold on. Okay, so you guys drink the Donald Miller Kool-Aid thickly, right? I mean, it's cloying almost, right? With how deep you guys are into this like ecosystem.
If you say so, okay.
I mean, you're drinking out of a Business Made Simple mug, I think, right now. So
Oh, it's my certification. Yeah, I mean, I'm a certified coach through them. So that's
I get it, right?
Yeah.
But like, okay, so you guys are well into the Kool-Aid at this point, right? It's not a bad thing. You kind of have to be if you're going to be out there promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
And they send him the book, and he reads the book, right? And they ask for feedback. Does he sit down and write that feedback from like I want to have the best quote? Or does he sit down and write the quote from man, this was just so good, I'm just so glad to be included kind of thing?
Well, it wasn't so much like a book review like you asked for, like, hey, tell me how I can change this book to make it more. It was more like the book reviews you see on Amazon and said, how good is this? Like, what should I get from the book, sort of thing. So to me, those are a little bit different, because one is
no, I agree with that.
But and most people who from my understanding, and you're right in the middle of this, so I don't know if you've been coached on this as well, aren't you supposed to get some of both? I mean, you're supposed to get
no, absolutely, right. We're
this is the second kind. Yeah, where it's amazing, it helps do this, and this. This is why I recommend the book, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with that, and social proof is obviously a huge lever. I'm not disqualifying any of that. My question was, do you sit down and write the review with the intention of being like the top review, or do you write the review from just like a man, like this was really great, and I'm just happy that I got to read it kind of thing?
I don't know, because I didn't write it, so I think he probably wrote it so that it would be a good quote for the book, with probably some of both, I would guess. Because obviously you want to give honest feedback, but we did that too. So I think this was more like the write something that looks good.
Okay, interesting. Man, I have so many questions.
Review. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's fair. Because local guy Ken Scott, who was Raphael inside the suit in Ninja Turtles 1 and 2, he wrote a book, and he sent me a text. He was like, hey, would you be willing to read my book before we launch it? I was like, absolutely, ship it, let's read it. And it was awesome. Excuse me. And so there's like this whole pre-launch thing, right? And you kind of, okay, like now today, go write a review and a rating if you don't mind. And I'm writing the review without any care about like publicity on my own end, if that makes sense. So,
sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting the way that you talked about that, because like it sounds very specifically like you're using that as a way to kind of like build your brand, whereas I feel like most people are going to use those quotes off of like the highest ranking people that they can to get the biggest push out of the book. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I think there's multiple tactics too, though, because some people will do a volume play, right, where they'll get a bunch of people saying the book is good, and then they'll have like their famous people endorsements on one page. Just the books that I read, I always see like they put those on a separate page. You kind of have like the big big dogs on one page, and then you have kind of like the maybe your students on another page, and then like whatever, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many tactics to launching a book.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, a lot. I mean, everybody that I talked to was like, "You trying to make money on this?" I'm like, "Well, no." Good. Okay, now we can talk. And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So the Business Made Simple world too, the way that they have things set up is that they wrote the book, and then they have the coaching program, and their book.
Oh, and you guys are going to get a ton of overflow from the book because it's around the Business Made Simple, and you guys are already the certified.
Coaches for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the fact that we're listed in the book,
okay, yeah,
actually puts us up ahead when they see all the coaches. Oh, that's a person from the book.
Yeah.
You know.
Hopefully,
so it was intentional.
Interesting.
Yep.
What do you got today, sir?
I've got 2 coffees. I've got a couple writing pieces I got to do. One for a client, one in-house. I got my walk-in this morning, so
Nice.
I'm actually committed to getting back to that pre-show walk. So we did that this morning. What about you?
I got to go coach the family law team. I get to go coach the family law team, excuse me. And then I've got deep work all the way really up until 2, and then sales lab. I got to get some of this blocking and tackling done. I'm trying to get a version of the Sherpa sales course up into the Sumo marketplace because they're having some good traction and they're seeing a lot of volume. I can put it in there and hopefully see some pretty quick growth and get some new people kind of thinking about it the way that I think about it. I have sales practice lab at 2. I have a call with a realtor to talk about the real estate mastermind at 3. This is kind of my first live conversation that's like cold from LinkedIn outreach. And then have a follow-up call with the other person who has read the book so far and given me a page full of feedback that made me concerned that it was terrible. But super solid guy. His name's Neil. He's the head of business development for Whitley Penn and doesn't even have a CPA. So dude's legit. Yeah. So it's kind of my day today.
Well, it's good thing websites, you get those right the first time every time too, right? So your website must be garbage.
And sales calls, and all the sales calls. Yeah, man. It's just funny because like I asked for it and then I got it, and I have that moment of like,
oh crap, imposter.
Yeah, oh, of course, absolutely, right. So it's funny because like I have to like sit down and okay, man, you asked for this. This is what you wanted. It's part of the process, right? You want to make it good, right?
Yeah. That's a hard lever to switch into gratitude to be like, thank you. That is really good feedback. Thank you.
Absolutely. Better. That's what I've been doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know. So yeah, this guy Chris, who's the new home seller, he was like, "Can I post about the book?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm gonna wear like a karate headband." And I was like, "Dude, do whatever you want. Like just tag me. Like I'm fine." So, thank you to Gabe. Thank you to Levi. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to Michelle. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you know other people that should be listening to this, tag them in the comments. Get them.
36 of them. Tag everybody you know.
Yes, tag all 60 of like the people who should be listening to this. I'll follow up later with a list of other people you should have tagged.
Yep.
But no,
people. We'd love to have some more people, some more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. More commentary, and jumping off points. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And